So I just called my bank because I deposited a check in the bank on Saturday, and it's a good check. It's not like some weird company that you can't trust. And she says to me, because I went in non-person, and I said, how long do you think it's going to take? She says, oh, probably until about Tuesday. And so it's Wednesday. And yesterday evening, I kind of looked at the thing, and I realized when I looked at it that it said hold, and I clicked on the hold button, and it said that it's going to be held until next Wednesday on the 30th. And the reason why they're doing that is because they can actually work with that money, which is, of course, a bloody cheek, because it's just stopping me from getting the vehicle I need to buy so I can do my job. And so I called the bank, and the guy was absolutely, I don't give a fuck. Could not have cared less about me, because obviously I'm not one of their big customers, if they even have any big customers. And I'm just wondering, well, it's because it's a large check. So I'm thinking to myself, 15 grand is a large check for you. If that's the case, what happens if I actually come into some real money one day? Are you going to do this to me every time I use a check for something? This is absolutely ridiculous. And I haven't been posting any videos because I'm kind of trying to get my my spot where I sit and read a little bit more comfortable and a bit better isolated. I had to turn the air conditioner off because it was so loud. And you can't really hear me on any of the videos. I noticed all the videos I made, I got like 3 views each or something. And that's okay. I understand that. I get that obviously is normal, because YouTube still has to find out who I am and what kind of content I make. But I just cannot take this seriously. How is this even remotely possible in a civilized, barely civilized country, a first world country also, barely. I feel like I live in a banana republic. I moved from central Switzerland, sorry, not really central Switzerland, but Switzerland, Central Europe is what I was going to say, to this place 10 years ago, and you didn't even have the chip on the credit cards or the cards at the time, and I couldn't believe it. And then I realised it's a European invention. That's why you haven't got it. We've had those since the 90s in Switzerland. Well, like I said, a Swiss company, and I think Visa and then some other companies developed that chip. So that's not surprising now that I know this, but at the time nobody was able to answer that question for me, and Wikipedia was still kind of iffy and didn't have lots of information in it. Yeah, it's very upsetting. So I am now running out of money that I could have just, used normally if I have a vehicle, so I can go shopping and then just buy a normal amount of food. Now I have to spend it on Lyft rides everywhere I go. And I don't get paid for another 12 days, which is fantastically annoying. And just shows me that this place is really backwards in so many ways. And it's not just, the stuff that certain people in politics are doing right now. It's other stuff too. It's like the rest of the world thinks this place is so progressive and so modern and technologically advanced. And it's not the case. It's just not the case. Nothing here is in any way, shape or form anything I can go, oh, look at this. Isn't this cool? Why do you think everybody is so enamored with Musk? The man's an idiot. He is an idiot. I don't care what anyone says. He is not an engineer. He is no engineer. I am an engineer, and I can tell you, he is not one. He's a twat who's got too much money and too much power, and he clearly, I don't know how old he is. I don't even care how old he is, but he's in his 50s, I'm guessing. And fucking idiot has a ketamine problem. He takes K. Oh my God. It ruins your bladder. If you don't know about this and you're hearing about this the first time, I would urge you to look up what it does to you. The side effects of K bladder is what it's called. In England, which is genetically where I'm from, they have a lot of people taking that rubbish now. It's a horse tranquilizer for the people that don't understand what this is. And it's actually used to make a horse keel over. And you know how big a horse is. So can you imagine what it does to a little tiny human's body? It destroys your bladder. It will make you piss blood. And then after a while, you'll have to have one of those, I've forgotten what they're called, like a colostomy bag, but for your pee. I'm not quite sure if that's what that's called. I think a colostomy bag is for the other one. So I'm not sure. Don't beat me up over it. I'm just flabbergasted why so many people don't even do enough research to understand that this man is a fucking liability. And you buy his stocks and his cars that don't work properly, may I add. Like this YouTuber, I don't know what his name is, Mark, something with an R, I think. He is an engineer. Actually, he's a NASA engineer. So this guy did a test to show why it's not good that these things don't have LiDAR. It's like radar, but not. These cars are rubbish. They work with cameras. And so if you put a poster up of a street, it will drive into the poster. If you throw a kid in its way, it might not be able to stop. It's just ridiculous. And these cars are not all they're cracked up to be. Honestly, I saw that and I was just confirmed in my suspicion that it's rubbish. I mean, I think they're hideous. That's one thing. I'm not even going to talk about the trash bin on wheels that is the Cybertruck. It's absolutely atrocious. It looks like a first year's welding student stuck that rubbish together and they didn't even weld it. It's glued together. Would you believe this? It's glued together. It's got glue. They glued stainless steel panels, which is that's heavy, onto plastic. I just slap him. I just want to slap him until I can't slap him anymore. How dumb can you be? And then the most ridiculous thing is that people actually buy this crap. And they think that they're doing themselves a favour in buying something so ugly. Ugly, technologically ridiculous and just crap. Bad design, terrible, really fucking awful, excuse my French. Really, really atrocious. And yeah, making more rich. I hope he takes more K and drops dead soon. Then we will have that problem off the table. I mean, now that he suddenly realised, and it took a long time, I wonder how much K he was taking when he was hanging around with Trump. Oh, yeah, I don't want to get into it. My point is, banking in this country is a joke. I can't take it seriously. You don't know where you stand. There's 2 or 3 big ones, and they're all gangsters. I mean, I know that everybody says that about European banks too, and I mean, I grew up in Switzerland, so I used to work for the biggest one of the lot. The one with the 3 letters, that just absorbed one with the 2 letters. That would be UBS and Credit Suisse, so CS. Just got absorbed by UBS a few months ago, about a year ago, so I'm not quite sure exactly. I'm not keeping up on it, but I laughed my head off when I heard it because one of the people I used to work with who quit, or rather was quit, and went to Credit Suisse, is now absorbed back into UBS. There is no escape. You can't get away. So I've only been here 10 years, so my credit history is really short, and that's why they said no to me when I asked to borrow some money from them. So I had to go through a different route and get a basically borrow it from my own 401k, which I did, so I can buy a car. I mean, cars are outrageous right now. Everything's outrageous, but I need a vehicle, otherwise I can't do my job. How am I supposed to do my job if I can't drive to customers? It's not happening. And so I need a vehicle, and I need it to be good enough so it will hold up and not immediately start nickel and diming me to death again. And so I had to borrow enough money to do that, and then I'm going to be able to I need to get first month's rent and a deposit and everything if you move. So that money is going to stay in that savings account until we move. And so it's just annoying. So they're holding on to it until next Wednesday, and just for the hell of it. And I realise that they're using the money to do something, make more money. And then they have the fucking audacity to say to me, oh, we can't do anything about it. It's out of our hands. In other words, I couldn't care less. That's what he's actually saying. And so I realized that the uploaded videos to my channel so far have been very tame. And yeah, the reading has been a bit annoying. And like I said, I'm going to continue doing reading. I think the next thing I'm going to do is potentially going to be another one of those classics that hasn't got any copyright on it. So I can't make up my mind yet. I've got like 12 tabs open, and I might read one in German. But I think the next one's also going to be in English. So, and yeah, I haven't made up my mind yet which one it's going to be. But I also want to do, like I said in that previous video, I want to talk about stuff. I want to talk about subjects. And I realize this is just a rant. So I don't even know if I'm going to get any interest in this. If anyone has anything to say about it, please don't hesitate. If you do get to see this one day, please tell me what you think about this. What is your way of operating? I'm thinking about getting myself a credit union account, but I don't know if that's better or not. What's the difference between the credit union, apart from it being managed by people that, you know, it's managed by the people for the people and all that, instead of an actual corporation behind it? Yeah, what would you say? What should I do? My credit history is short, but my credit score is okay-ish. It's getting there. I'm not borrowing money, really. I'm not trying to borrow money. I'm not trying to get any loans. I tried it once, and this is what happened. After 3 years of having a credit score, I know, that's what they said to me on the phone. The guy that called me was very nice. He said to me, look, it's not anything to do with your score being bad or not having enough income or anything like that. And I don't know. He said to me, it's just the length of the credit history. And I said to him, what would you expect me to do? I mean, and there's nothing I can do. I've only been here 10 years, and I've only actually had a credit score for the last 3 years. Before that, I had nothing. You looked at my social and you found 0. There was nothing there. It would say error or you get nothing. And it was very weird. But it was because I wasn't actually borrowing any money. But nobody was willing to lend me anything anyway. Not even a McDonald's burger. Nothing. What does my husband always say? They can't even put a Big Mac on layaway or something. Yeah, he says stuff like that. He's funny. And he does. He says some very funny stuff all day long. And if I use expressions, and it's probably something that he's told me like so many times that I now can't stop saying it myself. But yes. And apologies for any swearing earlier. I'm just upset that they've seen me work and operate on this account that I have. I paid back that one loan they gave me. It was like this ridiculous. It was like a pseudo loan. You actually have to put that money in there yourself from your account, and then you pay it off, and at the end you get it back or something. I'm not quite sure exactly how that worked, but it was basically I had to pay off an agreed amount every month, and I did that regularly. Actually, once I'd paid twice, and the double amount, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm still getting used to the idea of how do I handle all this stuff, but I'm doing it responsibly, and I'm not blowing money. I'm not doing anything stupid with it, but and still they treat me like I'm some kind of a criminal or something. So you got to put a 10-day hold on this check. Even if I got the money that they refused to give to me somewhere else, and so they're upset about it. That's what it comes across as. So Keybank, if anyone who works for Keybank sees this and they have any kind of power, just be aware that if you can't handle a 15 grand check, I don't trust you with any more money than that. I don't trust you with anything anymore. So I'm going to, as soon as I get a chance, and everything else has been taken care of, and I don't have anything else to worry about, and I can focus my energy and my attention 100% on this issue, I am going to get myself a different account somewhere else, and I'm also going to shut that account down, and you won't be able to say anything because I'm not going to, owe you anything, but I'm also not going to make you any more money. So you have just lost somebody who is potentially going to make more money in the future. Not necessarily massive amounts, but who knows? Maybe I am. I don't know this yet. I have no idea what's going to happen in the future, but it's really upsetting that they think that I'm not important enough. Oh, because I'm a woman! Who the fuck do I think I am? In this country, nobody even gives a shit that I exist. If you go to the hospital, don't even get me started. It's like, oh, I'm giving you this, but it's made for men, so it's too big for you. I mean, at least I'm not small, so that's positive. At least I'm taller than most women in this state. Everybody's so short here; it's ridiculous. And I'm not quite 6 feet tall, but I'm close. And honestly, it's annoying. It's infuriating, and it's just so boring. And when I get a chance to pay that back to society, I do. I tip women better than I tip men. I make a point of doing that. Not because I don't like men, because men get everything they need anyway. They do. They don't need me to help them. So I help women. And I don't care if they speak my language or not. I am going to always advocate for girls. And so that's how it is, because I'm one, even though, probably not anymore. But that's how it is. And that upsets me. I mean, they smile at you, but really, they don't give a fuck about you. That's how it is. That's how it is, and that's how it's probably always going to be. I'm going to go back to work.